Top 9 mistakes property buyers make. It's hard enough getting a deposit and trying to buy a home. The last thing you want is to waste your hard-earned money on costly mistakes. And in this current market, it makes it unaffordable. I know how overwhelming it can seem. Tough lending criteria, very competitive market, and trying to navigate the market could seem almost impossible. But I've personally bought and sold over 45 properties in the last 25 years. I've seen the market changes. I've helped people, I've consulted to people, I've done their mortgage loans, and I've seen the mistakes that have been made. And unfortunately, people have come to me many times after they've made some very costly mistakes. The top 9 mistakes home buyers make, and it affects first home buyers, investors, upsizers, downsizers, and divorced people re-entering the property market. The first one is that people are buying the wrong property because sometimes it's all they can afford. Sometimes we can do little tweaks to help with the lending criteria to buy the right property for you. The second one is buying off the plan without realizing the risks involved. One of the risks is that you're not buying now. You would have to get your loan in 2 years' time. And a lot of the times you may not know where you are at the time. You may be in between jobs and it might be difficult for you to finance. The third one is not having the right strategy paired with the right loan. We need to look at what you want to achieve, not just tomorrow, but 2 years down the track, and make sure that you have the right loan for that. It may be having a 40-year loan. We need to be able to make sure that you have the right loan and the right strategy. The fourth one is underestimating the risks of buying new builds, especially when it comes to units. I have seen many people, especially with shop tops, that find that they have strata levies of $100,000 to rectify builder's defects. The fifth one is taking shortcuts, which means that they're not doing proper building and pest inspections and not checking out the strata report. Because sometimes when there's so much pressure to buy, you could actually be making a very costly mistake if you don't do your due diligence. The sixth one is not understanding how the current market works. I've seen people look at property market, not buying the property, waiting a few months, and then finally realize that that is a good property to buy, and actually buying at a much higher price. The seventh one is taking advice from people who don't know the current market. A lot of older people want to give advice, but the market has changed so much that it's actually not relevant to today's market. A lot of parents just ask me to help their kids to sort out the market and be able to buy a property. The eighth one is when people try to outsmart real estate agents. You need to know what the job of the real estate agent is, and it's trying to get the best price for the seller. You trying to trick, manipulate, it just doesn't work in a tough market. You just got to know where you stand and what you can do to get your property. And the ninth one is rent vesting. Now, rent vesting is really great in certain conditions, but I have seen many people that have tried it and it has worked against them. So you need to know exactly what you want and work out the right strategy for you. I don't want you to make those costly mistakes. I help everyday people make smart, confident property decisions. Education is key, and that's why I've created this free masterclass, 4 simple keys to owning your home or investment property. And it's the exact strategy that I take my clients through. Don't risk making the same mistakes others have made.